All right, folks, what a great day of football it was. A lot of close games, a lot of great matchups, and we're getting ready to watch the Jets and Steelers and what I think is really a must-win game for the Jets. If you look where they're sitting right now, they're 2-4. If they fall to 2-5, they'll be a full 3 games back of the Bills, really 3.5 since the Bills have the head-to-head win. So we'll look to see what they do with Davante Adams tonight, if they can get that offense going a little bit, and hopefully get Breece Hall going, because he was my first overall draft pick in the fantasy football this year, and he really has not done a whole lot for me, so hopefully he'll get going a little bit. But let's talk a little bit about what happened today. So I want to start with the Chiefs. They get a huge win today in San Francisco, and I thought they controlled the majority of the game. And they're sitting at 6-0 right now, and their next 3 games are going to be favored, all 3 of them, and they could be 9-0 really quickly here, headed into a Buffalo game. But this game was really kind of defined by the people who were not playing. If you look at the Chiefs, they were down their 3 top wide receivers. If you look at the Niners, they were down their top 2 after BA got hurt. Both teams without their best running backs, and one team was able to overcome it, and the other could not do anything. And if you look at Brock Purdy today without his best wide receivers and without Christian McCaffrey, he was below 500 completion percentage there, headed into that last drive before they gave up a few completions with 3 interceptions. Now, one may or may not have been his fault, I don't know, but 3 picks, barely above 50% completion percentage. He really struggled today, and I didn't think he looked very good at all. On the flip side of things, I was really surprised by 2 things. Number one, I was shocked at the Kansas City's ability to run the ball against the 49ers defense. If you look at that last drive there, they get the ball with 8 minutes and 33 seconds left, and they ran it 7 straight times and basically just sucked the clock down to about 3 minutes left before running it in for about a 25-yard touchdown there was. So right now I feel like they are really rolling. They still have concerns in the red zone. At one time they showed they were 29th in the red zone, and they did better today. They had 3 touchdowns inside the red zone. But after they showed that stat, they run the ball for negative yardage and then the interception on a tip ball the play after. So they still are struggling with the receiver position and finding who to go to in the red zone, but right now they're playing really well. Number 2, the Lions take over first place in the NFC North. And this was a great game. Lions win it on a last-minute field goal, but Jared Goff was awesome in this game. He was very efficient, very good, and I don't know why he's not getting more MVP consideration right now than he is. Maybe that'll pick up here over the next week, but right now, like I said last week, I think this is probably the best offense in the NFL right now, and I think they're right now the best team in the NFC, especially after seeing what the Niners did, and they're in first place. And for the Vikings, having a great season so far, but Lions come in and take over that first spot. Now for the Vikings, their next 4 games are very winnable. They will be favored in all 4 of those, so they have a pretty light schedule coming up the next month. So I think they'll continue to roll, but the Lions, they were very impressive. Number 3, the Packers get a huge win over the Texans. And last week I said I thought the Texans could be the best team in the AFC, and I did not see that today. If you looked at the first half, the Packers turned the ball over 3 times. And the Texans just were not able to take advantage of it a lot of times. If you look at C.J. Stroud, he had a really shocking 84 yards passing today. Tank Dell didn't do hardly anything. Stephon Diggs couldn't do much. Without Nico Collins, this passing offense really struggles. And C.J. Stroud, he needs Nico Collins back because today was a little bit alarming. And for the Packers to go in there and win at home versus the Texans after giving 3 first-half turnovers, that was very impressive. And then the last one, the Indianapolis Colts beat the Miami Dolphins to go to 4-3. But I'm going to plead with the Indianapolis Colts to start Joe Flacco from here on out. They're just a much better team with Joe Flacco than they are Anthony Richardson right now. And right now today, that was really painful to watch. If you look at Anthony Richardson this season, he only has 1 game in which he has over 10 completions. And that was a game in which he threw it 34 times to get there. He just cannot hit the easy passes. They cannot move the ball consistently with him. And I thought over the past few weeks, they just look a lot better with Joe Flacco. And they barely beat Miami Dolphins team, who had down to their 3rd quarterback. And right now, they're 1 game back of the AFC South lead. This is a team that could make the playoffs, and if you get in the playoffs, who knows? But I think Joe Flacco is just a much better option right now than Anthony Richardson. So that's what I saw today. Look forward to talking to everyone Wednesday.